Flicks and Things' first location was at the corner of Thompson and Main. We were there from 1981 until the summer of 1988. In the summer of 1988, we moved locations for a bigger space just down the street on Main Street. We're in the front part of the building facing the street, right next door to Halton Pool and Spas. Still in business, Halton Pool and Spas, for over 40 years. If memory serves, they were originally called Halton Pool and Patio. When we moved locations, we went strictly VHS. We no longer had beta. And I remember thinking during those years, there's a couple movies missing. I know I watched them quite a few times and they just magically disappeared. I know we had it on VHS. Why don't we have it anymore? It turns out, at the time of our move in the summer of 88, a friend of my father's had a convenience store and wanted to have a small corner of VHS rentals. So father gives him about 50 movies. Aha! Well, that's where they went to. Some of the ones I remember offhand was The Hand with Michael Caine, 1981, The Phantom Toll Booth with Butch Patrick, and Force 5. Those are the three I can remember off the top of my head watching quite a bit until we switched locations. After we switched locations, we had boxes, but only for new releases. All the other sections, we had what were called plaques. So we kept the boxes at a different location in storage. So this is what it was, and this is the exact size. And as you can see, the size difference between the VHS box and the plaques. So we had more space for the plaques. So a perfect example, this is what it'd be encased in plastic with the little part up top to hold it in. So kind of like a glue gun, the little pieces of glue. It was like that up across top, not very big. So you had it backside, upside down. So when you're looking at it, check out the cover. Oh, hey, that's cool. What's it about? You flip it up and you're able to read the back of the box. And I flip it down. And we had little tags that would go on top of the older movies. VHS, the little tags were kept underneath because they had to be supported from the bottom. So later on, we were 1993 to 94, the end of 94, we're running kind of promotion, rent 2 movies, get the third movie for free, but the free movie had to be an older movie. The free movie could not be a new release. And then we had to double check when we got the tag for the older movie. Oh, so you wanted Force 5? No, 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 because everybody's going in the new release section. Grab the tag from the bottom. They'd see go to the old section. They grab it from underneath, so they're grabbing the wrong one instead of above. And that way we could make sure that they were getting the wrong movie because they'd rent it, get home, call up, hey, you gave me the wrong movie. I want this movie and you gave me something else. So we had to verify to make sure the older movie was the one that they wanted to rent. After the move, within a few years, memberships became free. All you needed was a driver's license and a credit card to sign up. Later on, towards the last 2, 3 years we were open, we had to, so we got your phone number and you also had to do a password. So we asked for your phone number, your last name, and a password because we were getting people coming in renting under other people's memberships just with their phone number and last name and then not returning the move. So we had to ask for a password. And then the last year we were open, maybe just a little bit longer, a year and a half, when we got all their information, we had to call information to verify your address and your phone number because we were getting customers one in particular sticks out. She worked at a bank, so when we called, say, hey, just so you know, you've got a movie that was it's overdue. It's due back yesterday, 2 days ago. She gave us the phone number for the bank that she worked at instead of her home phone number. Or they give us a bogus phone number. We call up and the number is no longer in service. So we had to verify stuff. And we took the credit card information in case you decide to keep the movie so that we could charge you for the movie if you choose not to rent it out. Keeping the movies on the back shelf. So we get our movie, we'd take it out, stick the store sticker on it, put another sticker up here with the number on it, grab our case, and we'd have our store sticker right here, and then on the side it would have the name of the movie and a number on it. So this is Back to the Future 3. Did I grab? Yeah, part 3. The one I can think of off the top of my head was Hellraiser 3 97666. So it'd be sitting on the shelf. We'd pull it off. When we updated our computer systems, all we had to do is type in 97666 and boom, the name of the movie would come up and the price. The movie prices. New releases was $2.99, so it came out to $3.44 after tax. Older movies were $1.99, so $2.29 after tax. Any movie that was less than 30 minutes was 99 cents. We also started getting into game rentals. So most of the games after the move was regular Nintendo. And we also had systems for rent. We still had VCRs for rent as well. And then when the Super Nintendo came out, you started getting more. Most of it was Super Nintendo games. We had two, just kind of like a big cage, and then two spots just for the regular Nintendo games. And we also had Super Nintendo systems for rental. I believe we stopped renting out the regular Nintendo system. We just had the Super Nintendo systems for rental as well. Believe the games were $1.99 each for one night. And I believe the systems $4.99 or $9.99 per night for rentals. We somewhat kept the same layout as our previous location, but with bigger space for a lot more movies that we had. So each little tag, new releases, was just a little top part of it. Would have nothing on it. Each section had their own little sticker on top of the tag, so we knew what section it would go into. And we had to combine our sci-fi and horror section to save on space. When you first walked into the store, the first thing you'd see would be potato chips for sale. And then all the older sections straight ahead to the left. New releases were on what we called the back wall. So you had to walk through the store to the other end of the wall, and that's where the new releases would be. And then to the left of that was the TVs and VCRs for sale. The adult section had saloon like doors that were almost to the top of the section and 3/4 of the way down. So you see people's feet in there pretty much and their ankles. And that would be about it, just so we could block it off because it is a family store. The back part of the store was still for doing a lot of repair work, other things, whatnot. The office was actually built in, so it was higher up with a staircase going up into the office, and the washroom would be like right underneath it. And looking out, if you were in the office looking out, you could see through majority of the store. So if there's any issues or that, you can just go, oh, what's going on down there? You can see everything from the office windows. And where we were located, there were definitely two other stores, three at one point, and we're all spaced out still. So each store had their own, I guess, neighborhood that they could cover. And then in, say, beginning of 94, Blockbuster moved up just down the street. So it's about a 15-minute walk down on Main Street. And that really hurt our business because while we had quantity, they had nope. Because when so after they opened, it hurt our business because while we had quant oh again. So when Rogers Video opened up, it really hurt our business because while we had quality, they had quantity. So you have to think, for example, sneakers, 1992, Robert Redford. One copy was $84. We got 10 copies of it. So that's $840. Whereas Rogers Video, they could order 50 copies because they're a franchise. We're a mom and pop store. So, and speaking of which, yes, VHS movies were expensive back then. So, like I said, sneakers, $84 for brand new sealed. Now you could wait 6 months, it'll drop down $10 every so often. So that after 6, 8 months, it'll drop down 19.99, 9.99. And it's crazy. The first James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan was $109 for one copy. So yes, it can get expensive, and we ended up partnering with a company called Rentrack. So again, like Sneakers was one of those movies, $84. We'd pay 42, they'd pay 42. And then the rentals would get split between the two companies, and then afterwards we could purchase, pay back to own all those movies. And then we'd sell them off, all the copies, so we're down to one copy instead of 10. So to get back on track, when Rogers Video opened up down the street on Main Street, they did take a lot of our business away. And we ended up closing on, double check. We ended up officially closing Monday, December 12th, 1994. So that really sucked. And when we closed, we had a total of 5,000 VHS movies.